Warm greetings from the high 10. This is Everyday Shenanigans. Thank you so much. Hello, DeRegan. How you doing? Thank you so much. Hope you all are having a prosperous Tuesday. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you so much. Hello, hello, hello. Got 6 viewing. Thank you. Appreciate that. Hope you all are well out there. I'm off for the day. Yes. Tuesday is my off day as well. Thank you. Thanks for joining me. God bless you. Hi, Angie, Dawn, Alexis. Hi, Pretty K. How are you? No, I'm dressed. The queen is dressed. Yes, Nisi, how you doing? Thank you. I've got 30 in the room. Thank you. Hello, LaKendra. How are you doing? Hi, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate it. It's a little cold here in the hot 10. Hello, Queen Talks Crime. Queen Talks will be one of the moderators for this discussion. Thank you all so much for joining me. God bless all of you. 27 in the room. My bones are sore. How's your day off, mama? Honey, my bones feel like your bones and my knee. They going hand in hand right about now. This left knee is hellacious. Sheba, how you doing? Hello, everybody. Ann, how you doing? V-Love. Hey, 34 in the room. I'm going to go ahead and get started because I don't know how long I'm going to do this stream today. So I'm going to go ahead and get started while I got a few of you in the room. I want you all to know that there's a reason why I picked this story. There's a specific reason why I picked this story. I picked this story because there's been so much hoopla going on and naysayers that have such ugly things to say about CPS and their plight and their role in our American culture. I picked this story because of what is going on out in Cal City. With all the hoopla and the negativity surrounding CPS, there's a reason why I picked this story, because what I'm going to reveal to you in this story is going to show you why you don't know anything. You don't know people. You don't know the agencies that are involved in placing children in foster care, adoption. You don't know why they were taken from a person. And there are also people who are hypocrites, who talk very harshly about state agencies. When one, you have to remember, a doctor always signs off on any case in the beginning. It is not CPS. It is the doctor. So if a child is admitted to a hospital, either alive, comatose, deceased, and or found deceased, either day 1 or day 30, 1 year later, it is a doctor and a medical examiner who signs off originally to call CPS. And I want you to keep that in mind with this story I'm going to bring to you and why I brought you this story and the deal with the CPS shuffle and the rhetoric and the hype and the accusations. I feel like a lot of you base your opinions on things you've gone through personally, how you were treated as a child, something that happened to your sister, your brother, your cousin, your neighbor, when sometimes you really don't know everything that goes on in a person's house. How could you possibly know what goes on in someone's house? How could you possibly know why a doctor would sign off on anything that makes it to the hospital, be it abuse, neglect, or death? This story was just uploaded today, March 2nd at 1:28 p.m. It is now 3:04 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. CNN is the source. Mother charged with killing 6-year-old son and throwing body into Ohio River. After initially reporting him missing, an Ohio mother has been charged with killing her 6-year-old son and disposing of his body in the Ohio River, police said. Brittany Gosney, 29, has been charged with murder, abuse of a corpse, and tampering with evidence in the death of her son, James Hutchison. Her boyfriend, 42-year-old James Hamilton, was charged with abuse of a corpse and tampering with the evidence. Both were arraigned in Middleton court on Monday afternoon, have bonds, and will remain in Middleton jail until their next court date, Middleton Division of Police Chief David Burke said. Both of the two suspects are Caucasian. Feel free to Google as I read if you'd like more information. CNN has reached out to the attorneys for Gosney and Hamilton for comment. Meantime, police in Middletown are working with officials in Preble and Butler counties and trained searchers to recover the body of the child, Burke said. The water is up extremely high, making our search and rescue very difficult, the chief said. With the water and the current and with the rain we had Saturday night, makes it extremely hard to really find anything. So we're doing the best we can when it comes to the search and recovery. Brittany Gosney reported James Hutchinson missing Sunday. Here's a picture of the missing child, who is to be believed as deceased. According to police, Gosney, the biological mother, reported James missing to Middletown police on Sunday morning, saying the boy had been missing since Saturday night. A search for the child was initiated, Burke said. It was a little unusual because usually when you have a missing child, the first thing to do as the parents is they contact the police, Burke said. But under questioning, Gosney and Hamilton allegedly told detectives James was killed in Preble County a few days ago, according to a news release from Burke. The mother is not showing much remorse at this time, Burke said. She's not really saying, what the motive was. Gosney had taken James and two other children in the household to the Rush Run Wildlife Area in Preble County and was going to leave them there. Burke said, it is unclear what happened between her trying to leave them and when James died. However, Burke said, the mother later took the boy's body back to their residence in Middletown. Sometime Saturday evening, when the two other children were asleep, the couple allegedly took the body and disposed of it in the Ohio River in Lawrenceburg, Indiana. Burke said that child welfare officials have been involved with the family in the past, but did not give additional details. The two other children have been removed from the residence and are now in foster care, the chief added. That is the said information by CNN. There's more to this story. That's just the update version because she's been charged with murder. I'm going to bring you the street version because you know I will. Hold on one second. That's the latest version of the said charges. CNN, I'm going to say CNN was very diplomatic in this piece that they brought to you because what I'm about to bring you is what allegedly happened to the little boy when mommy decided to take him and his other two brothers and sisters on a night ride. WLWT5 is the source for this story. This was updated February 28th at 9:50 p.m. A missing boy from Middletown is believed to be dead. This is earlier. A missing boy from Middletown is believed to be dead, and his mother and boyfriend are now facing charges after admitting he was killed and his body was dumped in the Ohio River. 6-year-old James Hutchinson was reported missing Sunday morning by his mother, Brittany Gosney, 29. Investigators said Gosney and her boyfriend, 42-year-old James Hamilton, showed up at the police lobby and reported the child missing. Police said that was the first red flag because parents of missing children usually call 911. Hours later, investigators said Gosney and Hamilton told police the 6-year-old was killed in Preble County a few days ago. Middletown Police Chief David Burke said Gosney drove James and two of his siblings to Rush Run Park Friday evening and intended to abandon her children. According to court documents, Gosney placed James outside of her car, and as he attempted to get back into the vehicle, she drove off at a high rate of speed, dragging the child for a distance. I can't believe what I'm reading. Gosney then left the park and returned approximately 30 to 40 minutes later and found James in the middle of the parking lot with a head injury, according to court documents. Gosney told police James was dead. After he was killed, investigators said Gosney put his body in the car with her 2 other children and drove back to Crawford Street, Middletown, where they live. Gosney put James' body in an upstairs bedroom at their home. Sometime Saturday evening, when the kids fell asleep, that's when they responded to 275 by Lawrenceburg, and that's when they disposed of James in the Ohio River, Burke said. Investigators said Hamilton helped Gosney throw James' body, this is the boyfriend, over the bridge and into the water. It really hit Middletown really hard along with Preble County. Burke said, this is heartbreaking for all of us and difficult. Trained search and rescue teams searched the riverbanks Monday in an attempt to recover James' body. Gosney is charged with murder, abuse of a corpse, tampering with evidence. Hamilton, the boyfriend, faces charges of abuse of a corpse and tampering with evidence. During Gosney's arraignment Monday, she told the judge she didn't fully understand her rights. I have a learning disability, so I do not understand what you are saying, Gosney said. Burke said she seems to be communicating fine. She understands right from wrong. She understands her constitutional rights. Her bond was set at $1 million. Hamilton's was set at $100,000. Gosney's 2 children who lived at the home, both second graders, have since been placed in foster care. Burke and Gosney has a 4th child who had previously been removed from the home. The Middletown Police Department is working with Preble County Sheriff's Office, Preble County Prosecutor, and the Butler County Prosecutor. The public is asked to come and unite as a community at Barnett Stadium Tuesday at 6:45, where everyone can celebrate the bright joy that James was. Middletown School Superintendent Marlon Stiles said. Stiles said James was a wonderful student and a fun-loving kid. Amen. And that is the original update I had. I'm going to bring you this, and then we're going to go into the discussion. WLWT5 is this source. I will always remember his bright joy, Middletown Schools mourns loss of 6-year-old boy. I don't know if I'm going to read that. Hold on 1 second. I would do this.
That's really something.
Okay. Middletown Schools is mourning the loss of their student, James Hutchinson, a 1st grader who is believed to have been killed and put into the Ohio River by his mother. His mother, Brittany Gosney, 29, of course, I told you all that, facing charges alongside the boyfriend, 42, James Hamilton. My heart breaks writing this letter informing the Middletown City School District of the tragic loss of one of our Rosa Parks Elementary student, James Hutchinson. Superintendent Marlon Stiles Jr. wrote, during this difficult time, I know our middle family will lean on one another. While our community mourns, our community always finds strength when we come together, and I know we will come together for James. James was reported missing Sunday morning by his mother, police said. And then it just goes on to repeat everything that I brought to you further. And let's see. The principal, Tracy Neely, says he was a happy and joyful soul who loved school. On the days he was in class, he would give hugs to all his teachers as he walked into the school. A fun memory I have is the way his face would light up when he won the lucky lunch tray. 1st graders can find joy in just about anything. I will always remember his bright joy, Neely said. They also have grief support teams set up and counselors for the children, if in need be, and the staff. And they said, please realize that reactions to death and stress are varied. Each of us will react to death in our own way, and we need to be respectful of each other's response. I encourage you to take time to listen, to talk to your child about what has happened. Provide outlets for expression such as drawing, writing, talking, engaging activities. Be honest. When they ask difficult questions, it's okay to say you don't know the answer. Reassure them of their own health and safety, and make sure they know that you are emotionally available, Stiles said. And as I state, today at 6:45 p.m. at the Barnett Stadium, there will be a prayer, vigil, a celebration for his life for the community. And that's the set information. And if you need verification for anything I brought you, CNN is the first source, and the other article and this one is by WLWT5 NBC News. Thank you all so much for joining me. I brought you all this story because, as I state, so many people have complained with the Cal City situation about CPS, they're human traffickers, all this nonsense, bringing up stuff about the Masons and Illuminati and all the different things that people assume they know what happened pertaining to those said children. A lot of you are very hypocritical in your assessments of CPS. Now, in this case, you're going to blame CPS because you now know that one child was removed. So what you have to ask yourself is, why was that other child removed? Why did CPS leave these children there? Because this heifer took those 3 kids out to that park to kill them. But she didn't. She only killed this little boy. Why? Why did she not kill the other children? Now, mind you, this is what she told law enforcement. She drugged her baby. Her baby was wanting to get back inside of the car, as a child should want to do. And instead of being a good mommy, she let her child attach himself to a moving vehicle and drug her baby to death. And then she had the audacity to come back to the said parking lot and retrieve a dead body and put a dead baby inside of a car with 2 other living children and her boyfriend. Assumingly, the boyfriend was there too. Why did she go back to get the little boy? Why didn't she kill the other 2? You see, something's wrong with her and the boyfriend as well. You plot to kill 3. You only kill 1. You drag 1 to death. You go somewhere and do what for 30, 40 minutes and come back to the park to retrieve a dead kid with a head injury. So that means he was bleeding. Shut your mouth. And then you put that dead baby bleeding into the car with your other 2 children. So what were the other 2 children saying when they saw their dead brother? And you drove home with a dead kid inside of your car with 2 of the siblings. And then you took that dead kid upstairs into another bedroom. My goodness, well, what did you do with him? You put him under the covers, in the bed, in the closet, what? Help me out. You waited till your other 2 children fell asleep. And then you left your house like the Grim Reaper with your dead, battered baby. Yeah, I'm going to be descriptive because she brought me here to deliver the message to you. You crept out into the night with your boyfriend and your dead, battered baby in tow. Oops. Child endangerment. You left the 2 behind. Who was watching in while you was taking the dead baby out with your boyfriend to dispose of him? I'll wait. Who was watching the 2 kids when you decided to leave out with the dead baby? Yeah, okay. So now you and the boyfriend are riding down the road looking for a drop-off for this baby. Whose idea was it to put baby James in the river? So this buffoon of a boyfriend goes along with this ruse to knock off some children, watch you drag a baby, come back to pick a dead baby up, haul a dead baby in your car with your other children, take that dead baby back to the house, take that dead baby upstairs, bring the dead baby back down the stairs while 2 children lie asleep in the house unattended while you 2 go out and find a way to dump off this baby. You dump the baby in the river, you and the boyfriend, and you come back and play possum like your child is missing. You did not call 911. You went into the police station, which was a red flag to these people, law enforcement. And because you so weak-minded, you and this boyfriend, you confessed and told the truth. I bring you this story to show you CPS gave her a chance. For those of you who don't like CPS, for those of you who know everything about criminal cases, child abuse and neglect, You know all of a stranger's business. You know all the wranglings of how CPS work, which you do not. You see, CPS gave her a chance because you see, they already took one child from her. Why? I do not know. No information was given in the said articles that I brought to you. But we have to ask ourselves, if you care, why did CPS take the fourth child? Why did they not remove these other three children? What was so bad about taking out this one that you would leave these children? Because as you see in the case in Cal City, Chief Walker told you that in a case of child abuse and neglect, CPS makes the decision to remove children left behind, other children that live in the said household. It is CPS's decision, not law enforcement. So now we factor in halfway across the country, in the state of Ohio, a whole different demographic, a whole different set of people, a whole different set of law enforcement, a whole different CPS agency. This agency decided to leave three itty bitty spiders with this crazy ass lady and boyfriend. For whatever reason, they gave her a chance. The same dirty system, Illuminati conspiracy agency that some of you love to label, gave her a chance. So what will you naysayers say now about CPS? They're horrible. They're this, they're that. They're human traffickers. They're the biggest human trafficking agency, blah, blah, blah. Well, guess what? This agency let her keep her children. 3 children. 3 children. At the expense. 1 removed, 1 murdered. And now 2 are in foster care alongside their other sibling who was originally removed. You see, when a child goes to the hospital, it is the doctor who signs off on the decision to call CPS or not. Remember that when you think you know everything. When you think you know everything about CPS. When you call them human traffickers. When you say they don't want to keep families together. Always remember, CPS don't run the hospital. CPS didn't go to medical school. CPS is a separate entity than the hospital. CPS is a separate entity than what the hell you doing in your house with your damn kids. The hospital is a separate entity than what you're doing in the house with your damn kids. Can the doctor make a mistake in a diagnosis? Of course. Can CPS rush to judgment in removing a child? Of course. But I wait to see what somebody has to say about baby James getting drugged to death by his mammy. And she already had another child taken out her custody. I'll wait. The same dirty system you judge, some of you, let this heifer have a pass and keep 3 children in her custody. And now one of them is dead because she murdered that baby because she decided that she no longer wanted to be a parent, and she murdered this child who the school says was a joy and a delight to be around. So what the hell happened? And why didn't she kill her other 2 children? They were in the car. Allegedly, she said she took them out to the park to get rid of them. So what happened? She changed her mind. Now I don't want this one. I changed my mind. Now I'm going to keep these 2. Now I'm going to keep these 2. Then I don't want this one. She drug her baby to death. So you see, when I come to you, I come correct. I come with common sense. I don't sugarcoat anything here. I hope you think about what I'm saying to you, that you don't know people, that you don't know the agencies that involve themselves in crime, homicides, that everybody has a role to play. Everyone has a job to do. And there will be a chance that someone won't get it right. Someone will make a mistake. But what you have to ask yourself, in this case, in Ohio, in the Midwest, someone was given a chance to keep 3 of their children, although 1 was removed for whatever reason, and the state did not take those said children. But she was given a chance. She was given a chance to be reunited with her kids. And she decided that she wanted to kill those same kids, but changed her mind and drug 1 to death in a public parking lot of a state park. So what will you say now about CPS in Ohio? What you got to say about CPS in this case? Who's at fault in this case? I had told a few people that I'm cool with, that I'm tired of talking about children on this channel because it is daunting, it's mind-boggling, and it's sickening. And I told you I would only bring you updates to any child story that I've talked about, but I choose not to talk about any more children cases. I only brought you this story because of all the hoopla Cal City has brought, with all these deranged attitudes and commentary about CPS being the villain and the boogeyman. You see, in the end, CPS is not your problem. You are your problem, because you decided to lie down with strangers and procreate. And for whatever reason, didn't keep your kid, or got your kids taken, or murdered your children, or abused your children. CPS don't have a damn thing to do with that. The hospital don't have anything to do with that. You did that. You and your partners did that. And it is time for some of you deranged lunatics realize that everybody is not made to be a parent, a guardian, foster parent, and adoptive parent. That you may get into the position and realize it is not for you, and you need to do the noble thing and bow out. But to continuously have children, which this case is similar as far as the breeding process of baby making, why would you continuously, as a woman, lie down unprotected, having all these children, and then decide one day you want to knock off your babies, and then at some point during the knockoff process, you decide to just drag 1 to death and leave the other 2 alive? What does CPS have to do with that? What does the hospital doctors, ME, have to do with that? Nothing. Because they don't know you. You know you. And you need to own your responsibility when you decide to bear kids. I know nobody is perfect. We are all flawed. But this making excuses for people, giving them a free damn pass to procreate, state calling in for whatever reason, and acting like it's no big deal. You see, some of you wait a fence, you play, you get on the seahorse and you just go back and forth. You don't know what you think. Because see, I know in this case, many people are going to now talk crazy about CPS and be like, well, they took the one and then they left and then they did this. And somebody will say, well, CPS gave her a chance. She did have 3 of her kids and they took one. See, everybody will have a difference of an opinion. But nobody can say CPS was so dirty. They gave her a chance to stay, her kids stay with her. They took the one. Why'd they take the one? Did somebody call on her? Did the child have a lot of accidents and falls? Did somebody see something at school? Did a neighbor see or hear something? Has she been getting numerous calls? See, you don't know. You don't know. And nowhere in this information did they reveal why the other child was taken, the age of the other child, why they left these other 3 in her custody. It's not been revealed. As I state, I brought you this story because of all the hoopla and judgments against CPS. There are going to always be mistakes made because man is the one running everything. And man is flawed naturally. But in the end, you are your worst enemy, not CPS. Because you see, if you were living right and doing right, CPS won't be in your business. Now, will there be some frivolous people who will call on you because they're spiteful and vengeful? Of course. Somebody don't like you. They want to make your life miserable. Your boyfriend or ex-girlfriend or a baby mama or sister, cousin, auntie. Of course. There will always be spiteful people. You have no control over that. You just have to pray. You won't be that person that somebody maliciously calls the state on you for no reason. But for those of you who know you're not doing right by your children, they have every damn right to call on you. Because what I have to ask myself is what was really going on in that house with the 4 children. 1 removed, 3 left. How were you talking to the babies? Were you feeding them, clothing them? Were you bathing them? Was there physical, sexual abuse, mental? Did they have everything that they need to sustain and be happy? And that's the point. Did you give them everything they need to be happy? The doctor has nothing to do with that. CPS has nothing to do with that. Everything starts at home. Everything starts at home. Thank you. How you doing, Air Force One? Thank you. Her own sister was trying to get those kids taken away from his mother at the time she did this. Snickers, what are you talking about? I don't know what you're talking about because I've not been reading the chat. Were all the kids abused too? I'm assuming so, but there are cases where parents only target one kid and leave the rest. I don't know anything. As I state, if you're just coming in, you're not going to understand the story. So I advise you to Google it. CNN is the source for the latest update. 4 children were in her custody. 1 was removed. It does not state when that child was removed. It doesn't state the age. It doesn't state the sex of the child. She had 3 children. She was going to take all 3 children and abandon them at the park. Instead, she only murdered 1 child and left him outside of the car. He was trying to get back inside of the car. She drug him to death. So I don't think we really need to ask if she was abusing her children. What do you think? You need to keep yourself above question. Yes, Midnight. That's how I feel. that everyone is not going to live the same, talk the same. Some of you like to curse at your kids. Some of you like to beat up your kids. Some of you like to leave your kids with anybody. That's your business, because nobody grown likes nobody to tell them about themselves. But what you do have to remember is it's those little things you're doing that's considered big to this person over here, and somebody might go say something. Some of you like to leave your children outside all damn day. That's how you rock. But you don't want nobody telling you nothing about that. Well, maybe to somebody else, they don't look good. You leaving small children alone all day unattended. Somebody else, they don't look good. Don't sound good. Your children coming outside, their hair is not combed. They're begging for food. They're disheveled looking, unclean, unkept. They're not bathing. Well, they don't look good to somebody. But you don't want nobody in your business. You bring it every time Dick and Harry around in your house. That's your business. Is it? You leaving anybody in your house. You slumbering with different people. So I want you to think about that. You have different baby daddies. Think about what I'm saying now. You have different baby daddies. So when it don't work out with Pookie, hey, come on with it, Angela. Then you bring in Ray Ray with your kids. Then you jiggy. It's Shaquan the next year. And they in the same house, apartment, trailer, whoever house you sleeping at, with your kids. But you all right. Don't get in my business. I got this. Until somebody itching down in their private parts. Tainted in their private parts. And they got to go to the doctor. Because somebody been touching your baby. Oh, you don't hear me? I don't know who did that. Wasn't me. Wasn't me. You see, when you live a certain type of lifestyle where you keep a lot of people in your home, you drop your children off at different people's homes. You let your children go anywhere and play and slumber and maneuver. Anything can jump off. Anything can jump off. And that is the point. That everybody isn't your friend. Everybody isn't your lover, your spouse, your family member, your clergymen or women, school teacher, rabbi, priest. Everybody's not your friend. Your child should be regarded as sacred. And there's going to be a time when you will trust the wrong person around your child. But you have to know the signs and what to look for with your child. And if your child comes to you and tells you that someone has been touching them, then you should be ready to go damn ham. No questions asked. You cannot have children around different people. You cannot have different men running in and out of your house with your kids. And I think a lot of you are very jaded and you live in a bubble and you are not realistic about having different men come in and out of your house. Think about it. Why should you even have to think about it? You get with Pookie, it don't work out. Then you hook up with the next one. You got a baby over here, you got a baby over here. And each year, depending on how long it works with each guy, Different men are coming in and out of your house, sleeping, taking baths, eating cereal, playing video games in a house with your kids, and you don't know him, and him don't know you or your babies. And now you talking about, I got to go to work. I ain't got no babysitter. You keep my kids. What the hell? Huh? And then when something pop off, somebody done fell, or something hurt, broke, sick, comatose, ain't breathing, now you feeling some type of way. Woe is me. I can't believe this is happening. Huh? Well, how you shocked? You got to think when you have kids. Everybody's not your friend. Everybody's not your lover. You cannot have different people in and out of a house with children. It is very dangerous. You yourself can be a danger to your own damn kid. You don't have the mindset. You don't have empathy. And as you heard the law enforcement say in this case, she has shown no remorse for dragging that baby boy to death. And then she has the nerve to go in court and play crazy and say, oh, I got a mental disability. I don't understand what you're saying, Your Honor. Oh, you understood. You can comprehend because you knew to take them kids out to that park. You decided to kill which baby you wanted dead. You decided to backtrack 30, 40 minutes later, pick up that dead baby and put them in the car with your living children. You knew how to drive the car back to the town where you came from. You decided to take that same dead baby and carry him up the stairs. Oh, yeah, I do it one by one so you can understand where I'm coming from. Then you put a dead baby in a bedroom. We ain't even about to ask what you actually did with them when you put them in that bedroom. Did you put them in a sheet, under the covers, under the bed, in the closet, in a bag, in a tub? Help the queen understand. Because you don't know nothing. When you went in the court, you played crazy. You waited till your kids went to sleep. So we know you know right from wrong. And you carried that dead baby back out with your boyfriend and left your other two there unattended. Child endangerment. Child endangerment. Child endangerment. Times 20. And took this baby and dumped that baby in the river. And right now the folks in the state of Ohio looking for a baby. I keeps it 100. You like sugar-coated crime, bias, crime, opinion, you're on the wrong channel. Thank you all so much. How you doing, Alicia? Thank you, Wesley. I want to thank you all for joining me. As I state, I brought you the story so you can think about all the things you hear about children, all the things you hear about CPS, all the ugly stories you hear about CPS, what they're not doing. Know that every agency is not the same. Every person that works in the agency is not the same. How can they be the same? They're in different locations. You don't know people. I want you to just think about things when you first hear a story about missing children, abused children, dead children. Listen to all the information that's been given to you and think about what's been said. This case is a prime example of the state giving a mother a chance to keep her kids. And look how terribly wrong it went. So for those of you who love to down CPS, you can't say that in this case. And that is the point. Every case is different. Every state-ran agency runs differently. What they do over here in California, they didn't do in Ohio or New York or Illinois, Indiana, Tennessee. To each its own. I will only drop the link if you will want to give your opinion. If you can't get up here to give an opinion, I will not drop the link and I will not stay on here much longer. So that's all I have to say in this commentary. This is the last child story that I will be discussing unless I'm bringing you an update pertaining to a child story that I have brought to you previously. There are a few stories that I have covered in the year and a half that I've been on this network. So I will only be bringing you updates pertaining to stories pertaining to children I have already discussed, but I'm not trying to make it. I just don't want to keep talking about the kids. I will talk about anything else, but I've had all I can take with talking about children, because I realize in what I've discussed here lately pertaining to Alabama, mainly this case out of California, I have come across the sickest people walking around. And the scary part is all the people who have been giving commentary about CPS and that case, you have kids. And you're scary as fuck. That you're somebody's mom and daddy. I'm saying that. I'm saying that. Thank you, Nay. Hello, Carmela. Hey, Dragon. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Hold on one second. I want to thank you all for being so kind to a queen. You all have definitely been kind. If you'd like to give your opinion on the said story that I brought to you today out of Ohio, hit the link. Thank you, Wesley. Thank you so much, sweetheart. We're going to pray for baby James. 9 times out of 10, James is no longer living. He's somewhere in the water, in the river. A terrible place for anybody to end up, whether you are an adult or a child. And I will be praying for those divers who are up there now, I'm sure, because it's daytime in Ohio, that are currently searching for this baby. God bless them, and that they stay safe while they're searching for this child. Juanita, I talk about everything. I may talk about dating. I may talk about why you didn't get your stimulus check. And know that they're trying to work on that too. For those of you who are still waiting on your new check from Mr. Biden. I talk about everything on this channel. But thanks for joining me. Say what, midnight, noon? What are you talking about? If you'd like to give your opinion on this story, please hit the link that's in the chat. I dropped the link if you'd like to hit it. Thanks, Miss Juanita. Miss Juanita's new to the channel. Yes. Miss Juanita, I'm very opinionated, so I will tell you that before you jump in. I don't sugarcoat anything over here. I give my opinion. You can agree to disagree. You're welcome to leave a comment, but please be respectful. Everybody's different on this platform. Everyone has their own opinion. Everyone's entitled to think how they want. I give my opinion. You, as I tell people, you can agree to disagree, but I don't sugarcoat things when it comes to children. That's just something I don't do. Other people like to sugarcoat every aspect of a case. I don't do that. I bring you all sides of a case. I bring you information that I get. You can decipher it how you see fit, but I give my opinion. And as I state, you don't have to agree, but that's just what I do. This is a commentary channel. I don't dance around. I don't show stuff. I just roll with it. I bring you a source. You either can double check, Google it to verify. It is up to you. But what I don't do, I don't sugarcoat anything pertaining to kids. That's not my style. Lord, what is Midnight talking about? Thank you, Juanita. I have to update my iPad to call. Okay. Well, Reagan, you can call me on IG. Thank you, Air Force One. Thank you, Aquarius. Thank you all. Thank you all for being so kind to me. Well, you know, we all are not going to agree. That's what people don't understand about being up here on this platform. You don't have to agree with other people saying. You don't have to agree. But when you go outside the realm of, you know, as I state, you know, that other crazy nonsense, the stalking and the keep commenting and going in inboxes. Anybody got time for all that? Nothing nobody has said on Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Twitter is worth all that extra stuff that people are doing. That means you have a mental problem. You need to seek a counselor, a rabbi, a clergyman, a pastor. When you feel the need, you have to, you know, berate a person on a public platform and or go in their inbox. There's nothing I've said up here worth all that. There's nothing I hear on any other platform that I'm going to go stalk a person and harass them. Because I have the common sense to either continue to listen to what you're saying or log out of what you're saying and keep it moving. They're still doing all that. It's not serious. Well, Melissa, that's why I keep trying to tell you, everybody's plight in life is different. Like I said, when you watch and see what people do on social media, when they show you that they're not mentally stable, when they show you that they are taking everything literal, that lets you know they have a mental problem. So the fact that they want to continue living that way, that's their choice, because that lets you know they're miserable. You have a lot of miserable people out here. And so you ignore those people. Why? You know, I've learned you can't get yourself worked up because of what somebody has said. Somebody has called you out. All you can do is pray for them and keep on going. If you choose to pray for them, you understand what I'm saying? But what I'm not going to do is waste my time with shenanigans. That's the reason why that's the name of the channel. I bring you all a source. Like I said, you can decipher it, think what you want. Things change in a case. Things, you know, about any case, things can jump off at the spur of a moment. 1 minute you're talking about this, and the next minute they bring you something else. You don't know what to think. That's why I say you entitled to think how you want about anything you hear on TV, the radio, but know that anything could change at a drop of a hat when you're getting information, especially about true crime. But I don't think nobody needs somebody to beat them over the head when they're bringing you evidence of abuse and neglect pertaining to children, the elderly. Why do you need to decipher and straddle the fence? Abuse is abuse. Neglect is neglect. Why do you want that secret? See, that's something that you can't make me understand. Hello? Hello? I'm not doing this today. You don't talk. I'm not. Carmela?
Hi, Queen.
How you doing?
Pretty good. This is horrific. Her coming up with this learning disability is it's a no-go.
Tell me where you calling from, Carmela.
I'm sorry, what?
Tell me where you're calling from, baby.
New Jersey.
Okay. Hello, Miss Carmela from New Jersey, one of my commenters that comments a lot. Thank you so much for joining me. Go ahead. Tell me what you think, baby.
This learning disability that she's trying to toss up at the judge, that's a no-go. She
Okay.
knew what she was doing.
Okay.
If she had a learning disability, she wouldn't have been so organized.
Okay.
This is horrible how anybody can do this to their kids. I mean, it breaks my heart.
Okay.
And him, well, I don't want to sound mean, but they're both losers.
Okay. Just give your opinion. Let me tell you something. I invite you here to speak. You give your opinion. You don't have to sugarcoat nothing. Just don't curse. But you give your opinion because this is your opinion about what you feel about these people. So you don't have to sugarcoat anything up on this panel. Okay.
Okay, she's a liar.
Right.
And a CPS, this has nothing to do with CPS.
Amen. Thank you. Thank you for saying that.
She had a chance to get her kid back, and this is what she does.
Mm-hmm.
I hope that the inmates take care of this one.
Okay. Okay, let me ask you this. Okay, in her statement, she said, I took the children to the park to get rid of all of them. Why do you think she only killed the baby, that boy? Because I don't know their ages. So I just know that he's 6. I don't know the ages of the other 2 that were in the car. But I want to know why she took all of them. She said she wants to get rid of all of them and leave them at the park, but she only killed this one.
Right. I don't understand. Like someone else mentioned, sometimes they do only target one.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe she chickened out. Maybe
Mm-hmm.
she panicked.
Mm-hmm.
But one is more than enough.
But it's sad that you say out your mouth to the detectives, well, I took them all out there to get rid of them. But you only killed the one, and you were so malicious with it. Instead of you just abandoning the kids and walking off, you kept 2 back in the car. You let the little 6-year-old get out. He tried to get back in the car. She drugged him. She drugged him in the parking lot. So she left skid marks because they said a high rate of speed. So they know what they're saying. You understand what I mean?
Yes, I get that.
So
Yes.
he holding on.
He was
to
holding
the car
for dear life.
Yes.
And his
and then she left and she came back. Who does that? You go, where y'all go to McDonald's to eat and come back? I'm dead, I'm telling you. When I was reading that, matter of fact, I was resting, reading it without my glasses, all that. And I said, I know I'm not reading what I think I'm reading. I had to keep going back up, scroll up the article because I thought I was hallucinating.
Right.
Reading it.
Keep going back because you can't.
Yeah, because I wasn't believing what I was reading. I said, I know I didn't read that she drugged him, went somewhere for 30, 40 minutes, came back, put him back in the car. You put a bleeding baby in the car with your other kids.
I can't even imagine how the siblings felt. I mean, it's.
You can't even make this stuff up if you want it to.
No, this stuff isn't even in movies. But I just want
nighttime, Reagan. It was nighttime when she did this. When she took the kids to the park, that's why she took them at night so she could abandon them allegedly. But instead, she only killed the one child, so nobody probably was in the parking lot at the park.
In the dark. It's awful.
Right, in the dark.
I sacrificed everything for my kids. My husband and we sacrificed everything so that they could have.
Mm-hmm.
We had our chance to do what we wanted. Now it was their turn.
Yeah. It was just too much planning, too much back and forth. Because what everybody got to remember, I keep telling you, always think about the information that's been given to you. These are her words to the detectives, what she allegedly did.
So she more or less is saying she knew exactly what she was
Yes, so
doing.
that's why they said that in court, she's full of you know what. You can't tell the judge you don't know what you was doing. You did too much to not know. That's why there's separate counties involved. There are two separate counties involved because you went obviously over state lines.
Oh, I didn't read that. I didn't know that.
Yes,
I didn't know it was two separate counties.
yes. Hold on. Let me go and pull it back up. Okay. Let me go back. Pull up the first one. Let's see.
Do these people really think that the public and the police and the investigators are this stupid to believe them?
Okay. See, I got a feeling. Okay, now this is supposed to be Middletown Police Chief David Burke said Gosney drove James and two of his siblings to Rush Run Park Friday evening and intended to abandon her children. According to court documents, Gosney placed James outside of her car, and as he attempted to get back into the vehicle, she drove off at a high rate of speed, dragging the child for a distance. So you all have to think about that. They obviously have evidence of the child, of wherever she went. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You all don't
Yeah.
know if they went back to the scene and actually saw where there's remnants of the child there.
Oh my
So you got to think
God.
about all that. They're not telling you all this. Then it says she then left the park and returned approximately 30 to 40 minutes later and found James in the middle of the parking lot with a head injury, according to the court documents. After he was killed, Gosney put his body in the car with her two other children and drove back to Crawford Street, Middletown, where they live. Then, sometime Saturday night, wait a minute, wait. I thought this happened on a Friday. Wait, oh Lord have mercy. Wait a minute. Now I'm really getting confused. Hold on one second.
Okay.
Okay, so this is something's really wrong here. Okay. Yeah, there's some hanky panky. Okay. I'm trying to make sure I'm getting this right. Oh, Jesus. Yes, Friday evening. Let's stay woke now. She took him to Rush Run Park on Friday evening to abandon him. She drugged the child, blah, blah, blah. She called Saturday night. She took him Saturday. So I mean, he was been dead in the house a whole day.
Yes, she called the police the next day.
Yeah,
That's right.
So okay, we go back up here where it says, Lord, I believe I'm reading. This is it's getting crazier as I. Okay, she took him to the park, drugged the baby, put him back in the car, returned 30, 40 minutes. Wait a minute. Took the kids, put him outside, drug him, left him there, came back 30, 40 minutes later, found him in the middle of the parking lot with a head injury. Then it says here, she put his body in the car with two other children and drove back to Crawford Street, Middletown. That would be what? Ohio. Then she put his body in the upstairs bedroom. Then it says sometime Saturday night. So we're now on a new day.
24 hours probably.
When the other kids fell asleep, that's when they responded to 275 by Lawrenceburg, wherever that is. And that's when they disposed of James in the Ohio River. So see, we're talking about two other places. Investigators said Hamilton helped Gosney throw James' body over the bridge and into the water. It really hit Middletown really hard, along with Preble County. So see, we're talking about two separate places. This is heartbreaking for all of us. Lord have mercy.
What do you know? Well, I guess you don't know. I'm wondering if they're going to question the other two kids.
See, that's why I said Middletown Police is working with Preble County Sheriff's Office and Preble County prosecutor, and the Butler County. So see, it's at least 2 counties.
I wonder if they were on
I
drugs.
think Ohio, it was mentioned it was Ohio and Indiana. Because one of the other articles I brought, I'm going to look at this one. This is the one I think has all the information with the different locations involved. Go ahead and ask your question, honey.
No, I was wondering if they were drug users or, I mean, somebody normal wouldn't think of even doing something like this unless your mind was altered.
Right. Well, they're currently in the Middletown jail until the next court date.
Good.
And she has $1 million bond, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, and I think his is 800,000.
100,000. Yeah, his was 100,000. I don't understand that. Why? He was right there along for the ride with everything that went on. How's his bond lower?
Hopefully, they'll find more charges against him.
This is crazy. It says Rush Run Wildlife Area is in Preble County. So that's a separate county. Because remember where she went back as another county. So we are talking about two different jurisdictions.
Oh my God. Where do these people come from?
Because it says here, Gosney had taken James and 2 other children in the household to the Rush Run Wildlife Area in Preble County and was going to leave them there. This is the original article. It is unclear what happened between her trying to leave them and when James died. See, that's the sugar-coated version. But she then took them back to the residence with the other 2 kids to Middletown. Now, here we go right here. Sometime Saturday evening, when the 2 other children were asleep, the couple allegedly took the body and disposed of it in the Ohio River in Lawrenceburg, Indiana. So we are talking about 2 different.
Yeah.
Because I gotta know if this wildlife place is close to Middletown or not. So I need to Google it. Where the park is. Rush Run. It's in Preble County, it says. Yeah. Rush Run is in Preble. Oh, dear God.
So is Indiana close to Ohio?
Yes, it is.
So
they're neighboring states. Yes, Ohio is next to Indiana. They're all right there together. Indiana, Ohio, Illinois, Kentucky. Kentucky sits above me. I sit up under Kentucky.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that poor baby.
This is sad.
That poor baby.
Sad. There are no words right now.
No.
Okay. Alicia says the park is about 15-20 minutes from Middletown. Thank you, Alicia. So I didn't have to Google it. Okay. So we got a time frame now. You drove 20 minutes to go drop them off at the park, changed your mind, killed baby 1, went 20 minutes back home. No. Where'd they go for 30, 40 minutes?
Exactly. That's left open.
Oh, it's Indianapolis, Ohio.
Oh.
Oh, I know. I'm just reading what somebody was saying in their comment.
But
yeah, Ohio, and they're all neighboring states, Ohio and Indiana, because she lived in Middletown, which is Ohio. And then obviously Indiana has this river running through it, the Ohio River, but that's where they disposed of the child, was Ohio River in Lawrenceburg, Indiana. So we're talking about 2 different jurisdictions because their house is in Middletown, which I'm assuming is Ohio.
This is just horrific. And I understand your reasoning and everybody else's reasoning about not liking or seeing these stories because it's so upsetting. I'm an activist, and this is what I deal with 24/7, 365. And they just pour in. These stories constantly pour in. We can't keep up.
Okay. So this is what I Googled. Middletown, Ohio. Middletown is a city located in Butler and Warren counties in the southwestern part of the U.S. state of Ohio, about 35 miles north of Cincinnati, formerly in Lemon, Turtle Creek, and Franklin townships. Middletown was incorporated by the Ohio General February 11th, 1833. Okay, so it is Ohio. So she took the child and drug him allegedly in the state of Indiana. And this person in the chat says that's a 20-minute drive from Ohio to where the park is. Excuse me.
And they left the other two kids home alone.
Well, you had to go dump the baby. Yeah. Well, who was the babysitter? I'll wait.
Those two kids have to be so traumatized right now.
It's sickening.
Nightmares, horrors, tremors.
So it's no telling what they were going through, how she and the boyfriend treated the kids. Because I don't know exactly if he's the father of all her children, but they do carry the same first name. The male suspect and the deceased and the assumingly deceased child. They both had the same name, James.
So maybe he is the father or the donor. That's what we call them, donors.
Yeah. Then I got another article that just popped up, WHIO TV7 saying, police chief, mother is not showing much remorse at the death of Middletown boy. Wow.
Cold.
Killed him at the Preble County Park.
Cold. Black heart.
So she killed this child in Ohio River, Lawrenceburg, Indiana, where the body was dumped after his death in Preble County this weekend. Yeah. This is sad.
I just don't know what to say.
There's nothing to say. Nothing. Nothing to say.
I mean, I'd love to punch her in her face.
It says Rush Run Wildlife Area. That's where she took the child and drug him inside the parking lot.
She actually drug
She
him.
intended to abandon all three of her children at the Rush Run Wildlife Area, but took two of them back. So they don't know exactly what transpired for her to leave the little boy there and run him over, drag him to death. Now here's another version that says, now this is WHIO TV7 if you need verification. Gosney told police she went to Rush Run Wildlife Area because she and Hamilton had taken the children fishing at that location. A Preble County Sheriff's Office report said that Brittany stated Hamilton wanted her to get rid of her kids. This is another article now. Brittany stated she had planned to get the kids out of the vehicle and leave them behind, as Hamilton had been pressuring her to get rid of the kids. So now this is another article stating the man didn't want the children. He wanted her to get rid of her kids, allegedly. According to court records, Gosney told police she drove off at a high rate of speed, dragging the child for a distance, a detective said in a document. And then it says, after recovering the Hutchinson's body later, Gosney brought back to their Middletown home where they kept him in a spare bedroom, according to an incident report. Around 3 a.m. Sunday, investigators said Gosney and Hamilton drove from Middletown down about an hour to Lawrenceburg, Indiana, and disposed of Hutchinson's body in the Ohio River near I-275 bridge. Those recovery efforts are still underway Monday afternoon and involve several agencies. So see, each article gives you something different. We're hoping to locate Hutchinson as soon as we can, Burke said. Potential motives are still unknown in the investigation. However, Burke said Gosney has not shown much remorse for the incident during interviews with police. Lord have mercy. This is sad.
I wonder if she saw a car coming, if that's why she pulled away like that.
It also says, Burke says, adding that conflicting stories have painted a difficult picture for investigators who are still trying to get more details into what led to the boy's death. And I'll tell you something else that's odd. It says she has two other siblings. The baby has two other siblings, and they both are second graders. Of course, now they're in foster care. So what I'm trying to figure out, how are two in the second grade unless they're twins?
Yeah, either that or one may have been
got
left
held
back.
behind. Huh?
Either that or one may have been left back.
Right. And then it says also, he added that Children's Services had been in contact with the family before. Well, we know that because, see, now it goes into saying this. Gottney had a fourth child, but that child has been in foster care and oh, Lord, I'm dead. Okay, I'm done.
Yeah, he was adopted. That child was adopted.
Now, you see them other articles I brought didn't even tell you that. Remember, I just told you I didn't know why? What happened to the other child? So, see, you have to search a lot of articles because each article will give you something that another article didn't. Well, here we go. They had a fourth child, but that child has been in foster care and adopted before Hutchinson's death, and she did not have custody of that child, Burke said. Well, then why the hell does she have these other 3 kids? Oh, Lord. I'm done.
I don't know.
This is ridiculous.
They're deviants. I mean, they pulled the wool over CPS's eyes really well.
Well, CPS, now, everybody loved crying about the Illuminati, this and that. Well, they gave her a chance because no matter what happened, because somebody in the chat is saying she gave them up for adoption, whatever. I don't know. All I know is it said she had a fourth child, but that child has been in foster care and adopted before Hutchinson's death, and she did not have custody of that child.
I wonder if she signed over all rights when CPS took that child away.
I don't know. See, I don't know all the, I don't claim anything unless I have verification to say if she placed the child up or if the state intervened and took the child and not gave her the child back. So I don't claim anything that I don't have no proof on.
Oh God, this is just awful.
I just cannot believe them other 2 articles didn't have nothing about saying the other child was adopted. That's crazy. Okay, both entered not guilty pleas. Well, I'll be damned. Bond set at $1 million for Gosney, which is the mother, and $100,000 for Hamilton. Both will appear in court next on March 8th at 1:30. See, the other 2 articles updated a whole hour before I went live, and it didn't have none of this information. It didn't have the court date. It didn't say anything about the other child was a place for adoption or anything. See, that was CNN. CNN gave a sugar-coated version because they didn't have none of this. Wow, that's deep. Sorry, I'm not trying to help you guys.
If they're pleading not guilty, I hope that they are not going to go for the insanity.
Okay,
plea.
I'm going to read some of the chat. Okay, Carmela.
Okay.
So you can hear some of the stuff they're saying. Okay, Snicker says the school turned them in also regarding the current 3 kids that she had because they were out of school and motels. Okay, wow.
Oh, they were homeless.
I don't understand that. No, Reagan, her child got put up for adoption. Reagan, you're not listening. Her 4th child was put in foster care and got adopted before this baby's death here. I'm just... But yet, CPS, they are villains, let y'all tell it. Ooh, they so horrible. Human traffickers. Well, they did human traffic this one. They let her keep her 3 kids for whatever happened to that 4th one.
Well, the people who talk bad about CPS also will not tell their story of how they lost
But
their kids.
That's why I said a lot of people talk bad about CPS because they're speaking from personal experience that they've had with CPS or somebody they know had a situation. But see, one thing I don't do, just because I know you don't mean I'm going to ride or die with you if your kids got taken, if the state proved that you abused your kids, neglected your kids, they got murdered, raped, whatever. I'm just not the type going to sit here and just be gnawing my head and swaying my head along in unison because I know you. See, I tell people I don't rock like that. That's not the kind of person I am. I'm not getting ready to go down in flames with you and you abuse your kid or you allow somebody to abuse your kid. I don't care if I know you. I done said it 1,000 times. I don't care if my mama gave birth to you. You abuse the kid, you get nothing from the queen. That's just how I feel. Because there are options you can use if you realize you can't no longer raise your child. And no, we don't know what's going to happen to the child, but I'd rather the child go to foster care or with somebody than sit here and wait to see what the hell you're going to do with the kid because you don't want him.
Right.
That don't make no sense.
There's a chance of murder.
Well, that's what happened. Look, she didn't have to tell the police that she was trying to leave her kids. She could have just said, well, such and such happened, and he was holding on to the car, not drug him. She willingly told him she went there to dump all the kids off. She admitted that.
She confessed.
She didn't have to tell the police that. She told them that.
Now, how can you confess that and plead not guilty?
Look, you can't make this stuff up. I'm trying to tell you. Yes, LaKendra, CPS has saved many lives. Because you look at how bad situation that CPS has gone in the houses, the police, and they've seen how terrible people have lived where they don't got running water, food, fecal matter everywhere, dog boo-boo everywhere, dirty diapers, no food, no drinks, no water. And where you think they taking those kids? CPS just taking them and what? Storing them in warehouses to sell? Yeah. Sounds stupid.
Okay, well, I'll let you go so someone else can get on.
Okay, thank you.
Love talking to you.
Thank you, baby. Bye.
Bye.
Bye, honey. Oh, Carmela sounds so sweet. I wanted the child in foster, then adopted was an infant. Well, you know, Juanita, I was thinking that too. That maybe the last one, maybe that fourth, yeah, was an infant. I was thinking the same thing. Well, Melissa, this is what I keep telling you all when you question stuff. Don't ask why, ask why not. You're thinking of a sane, lucid person. Why would a person kill their kid? Why would a person kill their mother? Why would a person kill their lover? Why? You got to think like a killer thinks. Why not? They don't have any empathy. That's why people kill people. Doesn't matter if it's a child, if it's an adult. I don't like you. I don't want to look at you no more. I'm tired of hearing you talk. You're getting on my damn nerves. I want you gone. You see, she's now saying the boyfriend was pressuring her to get rid of her kids. I give up. If you want to join the stream, give your opinion, hit the link, please. Well, Carmela, I don't know. There's no rhyme or reason for any of this. I'm trying to tell you. I'm in an hour and 22 minutes. Thank you all so much for joining me. So now we found that article, and that just popped up by accident. More information pertaining to this case. It just sounds worse. God, somebody need to burn Google. I'm serious. Oh, Lord. God help us. Thank you, Crystal, my moderator. Thank you so much. They ain't never just showed up at my door, no hospital, LaKendra. Well, that's my point. For all those that want to blame CPS for everything that goes bump in the night with people and their kids, you got to remember this is the same agency that don't have a lot of people wanting to be social workers. They're understaffed with workers that can go out and do home visits. Because you got to think, you got to have somebody in the office to process paperwork. Then you got to have somebody to go out to the house to, check the home and check everything out to give the okay or the no or whatever. Where do you think those people coming from? You hear that all the time, that most state agencies don't have adequate staffing. So, I mean, I don't know where people get all these bright ideas of trafficking, and how you gonna have somebody traffic somebody when you ain't got no damn workers in the office? People don't think when they talk. Just say your life jacked up and you want somebody to blame. Things didn't go well for you growing up as a child. Somebody mistreated you. You had problems with CPS. Your mama had problems with CPS. So now you mad at the world. So now you have a vengeance against CPS. Because my thing is, I'm not about to group CPS into the entity as this, Grim Reaper agency. Because if that's the case, everything known to man is tainted. The police, the national government, the military. You can just go on and on with people to blame. There are good people in everything. There's bad people in everything. You can't group everybody the same because you got one person that maybe didn't do their job well. They got a nasty attitude. They didn't follow protocol. What they got to do with the person down the hall? What's that got to do with the janitor? You people don't think when you talk. You just say anything. Just say you jacked up. You got a jacked up way of thinking. You got a jacked up attitude. You're mad at the world. So, hey, everybody is public enemy number one. But who are you going to blame in this situation? Oh, Lord. Who is this calling on this phone? Why you didn't hit the string? I'm on. Why didn't you hit the string, ma'am?
And when I push it, it's not clicking.
Well, it should. Carmela just came off of there. Hello?
I know.
Hello.
Normally it does work on my daughter's tablet, but I guess I gotta do something.
Okay, well, you have to say, Miss, you gonna tell us where you're calling from? Can you hear?
Yeah, this actually Crazy Sanaya. Crazy Sanaya from Las Vegas.
You need help.
That, I finally got my own tablet, so it's coming up as something else the name.
Okay, ma'am. Come on.
Yeah, I just feel like everybody quick to blame CPS for things, and that's irresponsible on the parents. Because it makes no sense. By these kids not being at school, some things, a lot of people get reported because they not coming to school or they seeing bruises on kids. But I don't know what mother, because a man don't want you to have your kids, gonna agree with that. It just doesn't make sense to me. And it had to be abuse going on to everybody that they have in their house. All the kids. She knows exactly what she was doing. You drove where you drove. How you go put a baby? I technically think that they killed him at home and that this story is made up and they just went and threw him in a river. Because if you were actually...
But you gotta remember something. They said a high rate of speed, so that would lead me to think that they went back there and saw the drag marks. You see what I'm saying? Hello?
Yeah.
So don't you think when they said high rate of speed, how would I know that she was going fast unless I went back to the scene and saw where he was drugged?
That's true, exactly.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Like, some people just ain't fit to be parents, period.
I understand.
That's just how it is. They're not fit at all. But I hate to hear everybody blaming CPS all the time. They save a lot of lives, more than they mess up. Out of my whole family, generations back, social services ain't never been in our business. We take care of our kids.
Well, that's what somebody else in the chat said. Somebody else in the chat said the same thing.
Yeah, that's an excuse. It's just an excuse. It just makes no sense to me at all. So that's just my opinion. That's what I wanted to say.
Okay. How are you doing out there in Vegas?
Thank you.
How you doing out there?
I'm good. It's about to start warming up. You should come visit.
I know I should. My brother wants to go out there so bad. He wants to go out there. So I'm gonna see about us doing a trip with my brother and his wife. Because he loves Las Vegas, honey.
It's a lot of Raider fans, so it's things to do.
She said there's things to do. You a mess. Okay. That's all you gotta say? Is that all you gotta say, baby?
All right, well, you have a blessed day.
You
honey,
too.
And keep your crown on like you always do. I love you.
Dude, thank you, baby.
Because I don't want to take up your time.
Yo, you okay? You okay? I just want to make sure you want to get out all you want to say about the situation, about the children, you know.
Yeah.
Or let me ask you this. Why you think they took the first one? Somebody in the chat said she gave the baby up, but I don't know. I don't have verification on that yet, so I can't say that yet. But if I find out, I will, bring y'all the information. Huh?
I couldn't hear you. I couldn't hear you. I have to take my earbuds
Okay.
out because I'm listening.
Somebody in the chat said she gave that baby up, the infant, but I don't have verification to say, because what I was wondering was, why was that one taken out the house and these other 3 were left behind? But I don't have verification if it's true or not that she gave the baby up or the baby was taken. The other baby, the 4th baby.
If the baby was taken, I believe they would have took all.
Oh, yeah, that's what I said too. That's what I said too. So maybe she did get a baby up. Maybe she gave it up.
Yeah,
Okay.
but then when you freely give up a child, I would think they would ask you, well, do you have other children? You know, why you don't want to keep those kids?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you keeping those kids, but you don't want to keep the baby.
Yeah, yeah.
And then things like that is like a mark, like.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. Yeah. Yeah, check on other kids. Yeah. Well, they say they had been involved. Well, the article says they had been involved. The state had been involved. That's what they said. They didn't explain why. They said the state has been involved with her in the past.
I believe that they already was abusing a child. That's why I figured, like, oh, they've been beating on him and all the other kids.
Yeah, I think they was.
And he probably was killed at home and took in there. But then if they did go investigate the scene and you did drag him, what person in a right mind gonna go to court and plead not guilty? But I told you, I was just gonna leave him out there. That's
a crazy one. But look, okay, but guess what? It says it's an hour. This says it said, but then somebody in the chat said 20 minutes. Either way, where'd you go for 30, 40 minutes and then came back and put them in the car dead?
I don't know. That's creepy. How you go back and take them back home and your kids in the car?
How you let them? But you put them in a spare bedroom for a whole day. This happened on Friday night when you allegedly took them to the park and killed them. Then you took them back home, put them in a spare bedroom, and left them there for a whole day and creeped out in the midnight hour with that dead baby. Oh my God. I can't.
Your own flesh and blood.
And then, like you said, then now you're gonna plead not guilty. Okay. And see how that works.
You know your rights. You understand exactly what they saying because you understood how to get in that car, drive, and do what you was gonna do. Come back home.
Right.
Go back again.
Right.
That's too much back and forth. Ain't no insanity for that at all. I wonder they didn't list like when she first took them out there to leave them.
Right.
Was the guy with her then?
I think he was, because she wouldn't have been able to do all that by herself. Because he the one that want her to get rid of him allegedly. So yeah, he right there. Come on. Let's get him out.
So
Let's get him out.
The kids didn't get out the car. It's easy to grab a kid and pull a butt out the car too.
Well, somebody in the chat said they think maybe the kids were trying to get out. Maybe they was fighting. You know, kids might have sensed, okay, she can really do something crazy to one of us. I don't know. We ain't there, so we don't know.
Yeah. And I feel you. I'm so tired of these depressing stories.
I can't do it.
Every day they killing kids.
But that's why I brought you all this story, because of how bad everybody talks about CPS. And I just wanted to show you a story where CPS, hey, one was taken for whatever reason, but she had her other, kids, and she was getting ready to knock them kids off. So I'm trying to figure out why she only killed that one. Not that I said she should have killed the other two, but you understand what I'm saying? What she changed her mind.
And if everyone was to be great parents, you wouldn't have to worry about CPS. So they won't lose your kids. Or it's their fault.
Yeah.
No, it's your fault. And their family should have stepped up, because I'm sure they seen something wasn't right long before she didn't kill them, and he's sick.
Yeah.
But since the schools are closed, I think a lot of stuff do get reported on kids like that from school.
Yeah.
So by the schools, everybody at home, you can kind of hide the bruise.
Oh, yeah.
All of that.
Yeah.
So that's why we're hearing a lot of it. I'm just tired of hearing it. Like, damn, can we talk about something else?
Well, I'll find something else, because
I know.
if I log back on, it won't be no kid story. It'll just be an update to what I've already talked about. I don't have time. I'm sick of this. Last night was a jiggy live.
Oh, I had so much to say about that.
If all them crying and moaning about me, I talked junk last night because I could.
And I have never, it told me something already. Normally when kids go missing and things like that, the sheriff department, everybody, they set up a press conference there for you to plead for your children.
Yes, you do. Yes, everybody knows that.
Description of what they wearing.
Yes.
You need to know what they wearing. So when you find these kids out of the whole story, you never said what they had on.
Yeah,
all
I know.
you did was, they bad.
Right, I know what you're saying.
Family horrible.
Well, now you know.
Yeah, I'm glad I left California, because something ain't right out there. I'm in another desert, but it ain't like that desert.
And you showing up in the desert. Oh, Lord have mercy.
Real desert. Where it's probably bones and bodies too. But it's up to you to watch your children.
Cactus Kings. Oh, okay.
Do what you need to do, and you won't have no problem.
That's what some people in the chat are saying. If you living right, you may get one vengeful person in your lifetime that'll try to do something, vengeful to you, as far as your children, your job. But like you say, if your walk is right, your faith is right, you should have no problem disproving the allegation against you.
Exactly. It's easy. They're going to come into your house.
Right.
They're going to see, the house got food. The kids got clothes and beds.
Yeah.
All of that to prove, which tells me normally they require to go and check those things.
Okay.
Even when you adopt a kid, like, you got to make sure you have room for them, beds for them, all of that when they come out, before they even allow you to do that.
Okay.
To finish the process. They do a home inspection.
Right. And I understand a lot of people will fool them. But I do know, now we all know you can fool workers, because just because your house is clean, it looks pretty, don't mean you're not abusing your kids or treating them wrong or cursing them out or locking them in the basement. Naturally, pull them out the basement when CPS come. But the point is, you don't know people. That's just the gist of the story. You don't know people. No.
That's why my kids don't go nowhere unless it's with my mama, my dad.
Yeah.
And they got an aunt, and I can trust my family.
Okay.
My family, they're all settled. They good people.
Okay.
But they don't go spend a night elsewhere.
Okay.
You don't know when you send your kid to go spend a night over there, and they might got brothers or cousins.
Yeah, that's what I've said. You have to be careful where you leave your children.
That way. My mama kept us all the time with her.
Okay.
My dad worked, and once we got older, she ended up working once my dad left the home.
Okay.
But no, I didn't go nowhere.
Okay.
Period. And not overnight.
I understand.
And like my husband, he's not letting these kids spend the night.
Okay.
Even the next door neighbor, that's the only person.
I understand. And that's what's sad about being a kid, depending on how you raise, who's raising you, you may not be able to get to enjoy life because your parents don't want to let you go nowhere or spend a night with nobody. So it's terrible being a kid if you can't go nowhere.
Dad ain't going forward.
Okay.
No. Even a next door neighbor. That girl cannot come over here and spend the night. She acts all the time.
I see.
But that's because even though I know my house is safe, we're okay. You're a little girl, and I got a 16-year-old son.
Okay, I understand.
No, I'm not about to do that.
Okay.
You know, it's about parenting.
I understand.
And if you had a great parent, you'll be a better parent.
Okay.
Some people don't know, but that's still no excuse.
Yeah, I understand.
You can learn
yeah.
to be an awesome parent.
That's true.
You got 9 months to know how to grow.
Mm-hmm.
So thank you so much. But
thank
this crazy
you.
I just got my own time.
Girl, ain't nobody. You all right, girl. You all right.
All right.
Thank you. Be safe. Okay, Sanaya. Bye-bye. That's Sanaya. She's one of my avid commenters out of Las Vegas. Thank you all so much for joining me. I really thank you all so much. I'm an hour and 40 minutes in. I'm never playing maybe again midnight. Okay, people raising kids for thousands of years without schools. This is true. They have to investigate within 24 hours, especially if their child lying. What are you talking about, Juanita? Yes, there are not enough foster homes. There's not enough of anything going on with the state. Not enough workers. They don't pay anything. You know, you do want people who are licensed. I mean, not licensed, but, you know, they're qualified and doing what they're supposed to do with their job. So, hello.
Hi, Ann.
Hey, what's going on?
This is Heidi.
Oh, Melissa said, or quit laying on the mattress, just saying. Oh, wow. Melissa, you've been around the queen too long. Oh, but this is true. Okay, what you got to say, Miss Heidi Stuff?
But you know, when you have an allegation of any type of CPS claim and they come out, they have 30 days from the date that case was open to investigate that case. But it don't only just be investigated at your home. They actually go out to the schools. They go to the doctor's office. Yeah, and it's not easy to pull.
These folks' comments, they showing out in the comment section. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
It's not easy to pull one over on them because they check out everything surrounding that child that the abuse is toward. But they have 30 days from the date that case was open to investigate it. Mm-hmm. And you have no say-so because you'll never know when they went to your child's school. Mm-hmm. You'll never know when they went to sit down with that doctor. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's how deep it is. So this is why when these stories come up about these kids being murdered and all of that, and they came from CPS, I don't support CPS. Mm-hmm. You understand? And why I don't support CPS? Because just as easily as they walk in your life, mm-hmm. you could prove them wrong.
That's what we were saying. How easy it would be to prove them wrong if you comply whatever they ask for. And I always feel like it's once you show that you are interested in what they're talking about and you're willing to comply and you got an even disposition, they want to be gone just like you want them to be gone.
Yep, those people come into your home, they look around, they check, make like it was just stated. Make sure them kids have someplace to sleep, food in the house, and pretty much walk out of your house. If it was physical abuse, they will pull that child to the side and check that child over in your home before they even leave out. And if that child have any signs of abuse, that person will walk out but come right back with the law.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? So, no, you can't pull a quick one over on them. Because they're going to find out from different sources if this child is being mistreated, neglected, or anything else. But no, I would never support the people that you brought into your life. Mm-hmm. You understand what I'm saying? You brought those people into your life. And if you didn't voluntarily, all you have to do is prove them wrong, and they'll be gone just as quickly as they came. Mm-hmm. That's all I had to say.
Okay. Well, what do you think about everything that was said about the children being taken out there? Why she didn't kill the other two? They
Uh,
pleading not guilty. All this taking a dead body in, leaving them for a whole day, then taking the body out to dump them in the river. The boyfriend don't want the kids no more. Oh, but ain't them your kids allegedly?
I think it's in the
Oh,
water, and
man.
people just in the world is just going crazy, and like it was just stated,
Oh, it's
keep
sick.
your kids in your view at all times. Don't let your kids go out of your view.
Mm-hmm.
You understand what I'm saying? Don't let your kids go. Mine, thank God, I'm almost finished. My baby will be a 18-year-old this year. At the end of this year, I'm so happy because, okay, but I never had CPS in my life. Never.
Well, this is just one of those cases that's just really bad.
Yeah.
Really, really
Just like
bad.
the
This
case
is a
before
bad
this.
case.
You understand what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
unfortunately, all this time done passed. My fear is those two boys, they looking for what they did with those boys. Those boys no longer here with us. And it's sad. It's sad. And I believe the problem came more than likely when they changed their names. And those kids knew their names. And now you forcing new names on them. I could see so many scenarios of what happened. Seriously.
Well, we can do that because we don't know anything. I mean, the detectives know something, FBI, but we don't. And that's just the thing about a case. You can assume all type of things,
Yeah,
speculate,
but
variables,
I
because we don't
believe
know
that's
anything.
when them kids didn't pay them no more mind, because now y'all forcing new names on them, and those are still babies. You understand what I'm saying? And they've been called by this one name their whole little young lives. Now y'all forcing new names, and they not answering to those new names. And now they like those. It's just so sad. Like I'm so sad with these baby stories, these kids
Because they're old.
stories.
They're old. Because my thing is, let me tell you something. I tell this to young people all the time. I don't talk to people my age, because you can't tell nobody 50 nothing, 40. You like talking to the wild.
Right,
But them young
right.
people, I talk to them. I let them know life is short. Live your
Mm-hmm.
best life. You do
Yep,
not have to adhere to nothing. You don't have to hook up with nothing. You don't have
yep.
to be tied down to nothing. You need to go to school, get your education, get your trade so you can be prosperous. You don't have to depend on anybody for money, a place to stay, a
And
car,
you're never too
your
old
own.
to be
You
more
don't have to have
educated.
children if you don't want no children.
You're never
Go
too
live
old to
your
get one
life.
more education.
So
You're
you don't
right.
have to be miserable, tied down with children, and realize, well, you ain't really working out for you. You feel obligated. See, don't sign up for something that you're not ready for. And that's what people don't understand. You get
And
tangled up liking somebody, lusting somebody. Next thing you know, you're pregnant. Then you got the baby. Then you realize it ain't what you thought it was going to be. You maybe don't got no help, no friends, no family.
my
Maybe
problem
daddy
with
ain't acting right. So here
CPS
we go.
is
Here we
they
go.
give kids, you're giving kids to people that haven't even shown you that they can live their life without the funds you giving them. You understand what I'm saying? Like this Jacqueline and whatever the hell his name is.
Mm-hmm.
How dare y'all give that family kids? They didn't have the resources without the check. You understand what I'm saying? So y'all
Yeah.
giving them a reason to take care of these kids like it's
Mm-hmm.
a job. You didn't give these kids to people that's more well off that would more likely take care of these kids. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's the tragic of that story.
I don't know.
And
They all these stories are the same to me. It don't matter who they are, if they white, they black, whoever. They're all the
yeah,
same to me. It's a matter. It's just all these stories start out the same. Somebody got pregnant, had a kid, realized that it wasn't working out, so they just keep the children anyway. And then something goes terribly wrong. CPS gets involved, and or the children end up comatose, dead, and it just
well,
goes
I
down
know
here from there.
Jacqueline mom's home burning all them damn candles, and I wonder what she's praying about right about now. Because
Nothing.
their culture, they burn candles and prayer rituals all the time. You understand what I'm saying? I like to know what she could be praying about today.
I don't
Be-
know.
because her daughter is guilty. We ain't find out exactly if my guess is correct. They beat those babies to death. They starved them. They beat them, and then they discarded them. Well, it's gonna come out eventually.
Hmm.
It's
I
gonna
don't
come
know.
out. Nobody's seen those little boys for so long. Nobody know exactly when those babies actually came up missing.
Yeah. And
Because
that to me, that's the sad part about that whole
yes,
situation. Is only the police is going to know with their investigation, but I think it's going to be really tragic when we find out the actual timeline that the children
yes,
got out of their custody.
yes, because now they got to go back to their primary doctors and seeing the last time they actually came in for a physical. Mind you, those kids is at the age where they were getting shots every so often. You understand what I'm saying? When was the last time they were in to see their physician?
Right.
That's a timeline right there. And it still go back to the statement that Trezell supposed to have said he wanted to get off the radar. So
Yeah, but how do we know that? Because a lot of stuff that's being said about these people is speculation and just people passing stuff and people passing like they know. Trezell and Jacqueline have never talked to anybody, so how do we know that they want to get off the
this
radar
supposed
degree?
to have came from the lady that he borrowed the money from. Remember?
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna tell you something about all of this. I don't believe nothing that's been said about neither one of them.
All I know is I hope to wake up one day and real soon and hear that both of their asses is in custody.
Well, that's what I was hoping. That's what I thought yesterday. With the way my phone was ringing, I said, "Hell, Obama back in office," and then calling my phone.
Yeah, because
my phone was jumping off yesterday. I said, "Oh Lord, they got a suspect." I just heard trying to get in the inbox. I said,
the
"Oh,
whole world
Lord.
watched.
This ain't the news I want to hear."
6 kids didn't get in that truck.
I just think that they caught somebody.
Yeah.
Just a new chief in charge. Oh well.
If they don't have no other charge, they have a suspicion of murder.
Yeah.
Okay? Because those 2 babies didn't get in that van. Okay?
Okay.
I saw the 4 bigger boys. I didn't see those 2 babies getting in that van.
Yeah.
So right there, that's a suspicion of murder right there. That's a charge right there.
Mm-hmm.
And what the hell is the holdup? Why they not in jail just for suspicion of something?
Well, I'm just hoping that it turns out like how Megan Boswell turned out. We got proof to show we ain't seen them kids with you just on video. That's enough to hold you for lying and filing a false report. That's enough to hold you.
I'll tell you
Filed a false report. That's a crime. May not be a felony, but I'm going to hold you anyway.
There's video around that whole surrounding. You ain't see no one in sight on that video. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You ain't seen you seen absolutely nothing around the whole surroundings.
Right.
And you would have to have known that the kids was out there playing.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? But no one was out. Not the neighbors, not the neighbor dogs. Look, not only did they dog not bark, but the neighbor's dog didn't even bark. It had to been strangers around. Nah. That case is funky.
It's been funky from day one. That's what's so crazy.
And arrested.
That's what's so sad. These babies just, I don't care what nobody says, my opinion. I'm gonna say it until I'm tired of talking about this case. The children never had a chance, and everybody knows this.
Nope.
You don't need to keep trying to act like you don't know. You blinded by the light. You know, come into the light because it's got to be scary in the dark.
And this is why join
the living.
The natural parents won't come and show their face anymore because, y'all came out in the beginning. Shall I say she came out in the beginning?
Yeah.
But after all the backlash she got, which she should have.
Barbella, you a trip.
She ain't coming back out to show her face. Okay?
Yeah. But don't you find that strange? All that you ran out of breath, now nothing. Poof, voila, magic gone.
Because she didn't like the backlash.
Well,
Just like that heifer
I don't think a
that's
lot of
supposed
people
to
really
have-
came for her. I think I've probably been the only one that's been opinionated the past couple of weeks, when I brought the source. But other than that, I didn't even talk about her that much because I felt like I already
We
knew how
said
some
she
people felt
wasn't
about her. So,
relevant.
people
We
will
said
want to
she
uphold her.
wasn't relevant because she wasn't relevant. You didn't want your kids, point blank, period. We was more important, okay? And we left it like that. But yeah, she got a lot of backlash,
Yeah.
and now she's back to living, I guess,
The way
the
she was,
same.
the way she been doing. Yeah, minding her business, staying in the lane without
Right.
children.
But they did put pictures up of the oldest little boy, father, and the little boy did look identical to his father. It's just so sad that you had an offspring that looked just like you,
Yeah.
and you didn't fight to get him.
Well, what I found disturbing is on one channel there was commentary that a female said on her channel that he said, I don't know if it's true, this is allegedly, that he didn't want he didn't want to be bothered or something. I thought, where'd you get that comment from? But that's a hell of a thing to say. Well, we done figured that out already because two little itty bitty spiders had different fathers, then gone, taking out the mother's custody as infants.
But he have a lot of kids.
Yeah, okay, but okay, so that's still crazy. That's still bad. You got a lot of kids, but these two are missing. And if you did say that, that's just jacked up to say you don't want to be bothered. Well, hell, we'd have figured that out already.
Maybe it wasn't so much. Maybe it wasn't so much just with the child. It was with the mama too. That we don't know, but it's just so sad. Like you said, those kids never had a chance with no one.
Thomas says, listen, Thomas says in the chat, I suspect that the birth mom took the kids. Why you think that, Thomas? Come on up here. I'm almost at 2 hours. I'm not trying to go over longer because we were on another subject, not
He ain't got those kids.
Huh?
That birth mother don't have them kids.
Well, see, everybody's thinking something different. I don't know.
That's stupid. That's stupid. She ain't got those kids. She didn't even know where them kids was at. Okay.
Well, would you be shocked if you found out she got something to do with it?
I know she ain't have nothing to do with it.
How you know that? How you know that?
Because it doesn't. If it doesn't make sense, it can't be true.
Well, I'm just saying. What about it don't make sense? They all from the same place. Bakersfield is not big like y'all be thinking. Even in New York, in that island, you still liable to bump into somebody downtown Manhattan going to get a baby.
I don't believe she had anything to do with the kids being missing, nor do I think she knew where they were at.
Well, I don't know anything. That's all I'm gonna say. I never put my stamp on anything because I don't know. I don't know these people.
It's the reason they moved all the way and nothing.
Oh yeah, I'm assuming that. Well, see, this is what I tell everybody. No matter how you want to weigh it, no matter what you want to believe about what happened with the kids, one thing for certain that you can't deny, this is day one, they never gave new photos of the children. So that shows
right.
the intricate plan that you had this plan and mapped out. No matter who was involved, no matter who gave a child to somebody, murdered a child, whatever, sold a child, however you want to word it, you show from day one, you and your wife did something because you didn't have photos. Part two, your behavior. The fact you didn't never search, you never rallied, you never talk again to the public. Then your parents a month later go ahead to the national news and don't even upload a recent photo. They give a photo that's younger than the ones you and your wife gave. So that shows me also premeditation on the part of your mother. Why? Why would your mother and father give a picture of the babies, of them as babies, smaller than the ages that they are?
Why weren't photos laying around the house and picture frames or anything for them to give to the cops hand in hand?
Well, I don't know what was in the house because they didn't tell us what they found.
I tell you,
so we can't say what they didn't have. But what I'm saying is, they never gave a newer photo.
It was a reason that they ran into seclusion, and when they bought that house in the desert, they were going into seclusion, so no one would bring up the issue of those kids. It's like you said early on when the story came out. Someone had to been questioning about those two little boys.
Yeah, I think somebody came around. I think my understanding, like if it's true to believe what the lady told Chris about, selling her home, this went on for 6 months, the house wrangling. So that's a long time. So what we have to ask ourselves, if you count back 6 months from the time the story jumped out, because they got to the house in September, so you count 6 months back from September, that takes you to March, if I'm not mistaken. What made them, one, go out and look for a house first and foremost? Two, what made them want to pick this place 1 hour outside of Bakersfield, California? Three, in the middle of the desert with no activities, no functions, no movie theaters, swimming pools, swimming holes. You feel me?
Yep. And they bought their house how many months ago? Right. And none of those neighbors said they can tell you honestly that they seen all 6 of those boys.
Well, like I said, I'm just gonna wait on the police.
I tell you,
give the information, because they're gonna know more to tell us about really the timeline. Because like I said, whenever you leave your house, you leave a blueprint. So somebody got pictures and photos and videos of them going and coming without the two.
This is why this story went back to where it originated from, because now they know much more than put out there. You understand what I'm saying? Because yeah, they Big Brother is always watching.
Right.
Big Brother is always watching, but
right, that's what I'm saying.
It was just more suspicious to me that none of the neighbors could say when the last time they set sight on those 2 babies. Okay, that right there sent up an alarm right there. I noticed everything around me. Everything. If I seen you walking out of your house and you was my next door neighbor, I could tell you what you had on. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah. It's sad. It's all sad. Well, I'm gonna check out of here because I'm at 2 hours. I don't want to go over long on these uploads anymore.
Love you, Biggie.
Thank you for joining us, Miss Hottie Stuff.
All right, later, baby.
Okay, be careful. Okay, bye. Thanks for joining me. Well, that was Hottie Stuff. I want to thank you all for joining me at the top of 2 hours. I'd like to have a consideration for those that come in and like to watch a video and not watch it so long. But I want you all to pray for this baby boy. I'm praying for those who are searching for him in Ohio. This is going to be a really bad situation. I know when they do find him. I'm praying for his siblings who are now in foster care and one has been adopted. I pray that they are in good hands, the one that's been adopted. I pray that that child has a decent and loving family. I'm also praying for the 2 that just went into foster care, that you all, whoever has them, gets them, will do right by them, love them, nurture them, because I don't know what they went through with this crazy bat and her boyfriend, but I'm assuming it's not good. Because anybody that's willing to admit to the police that they took their children out to a park to abandon them, it's not a good parents. And these children are owed better than what has been given to them. And that's what people don't seem to understand about raising children. They do not ask to come here. They didn't choose these demons as their biological family. Just like when you go into foster care or get adopted, or somebody takes you in, you don't know how they're going to treat you. And it's unfair to be mistreated as a child because you didn't ask to be here. So you owe them more than what you're giving them if you're mistreating them. Thank you so much. Thank you, Patty. Love you too. Yes, Thomas, I'll bring an update, but I really don't want to bring an update only because I brought this to show you how so many people down CPS. That was the goal of this video. It was really not to go into it for an update. It was to show you that so much has been negatively said about CPS dealing with the Cal City boys, and that you don't know everything that goes on in a person's household. You don't know if there were calls, how many calls came in about a person's family, their lifestyle. You don't know anything. And as I've stated with each case dealing with CPS, from the time a child goes to the hospital, it is the doctor who signs off on the call to CPS. CPS does not know anything about your life unless they already have a file on you. So if they don't have a file on you, then it is the doctor who makes the call for CPS and the authorities. So stop blaming CPS for other people's mishaps and nasty dispositions and wayward ways in raising their children. It is the doctor who makes the call at the hospital. I want to thank you all for joining me in this live. This has been a really good live. I thank you. I'm really praying for these children in Ohio, because this is another sick case of a little boy who was tragically murdered by his own parents, his father, whomever the guy is, if he's the real dad or not, don't matter. He's a culprit. His bond needs to be higher as well, because he rode the ride with this bat and got the child killed, and everything that happened on that fateful weekend is horrific, and that baby deserved more than what was given to him. And now it is up to some noble people in Ohio to retrieve that baby out that damn river. And this is a horrible, horrible, horrific, diabolical case, once again, of a children raised by people who don't want them and viciously knocked them off, and now playing possum. Like, share, subscribe, drop your comments below. Thanks for joining me. If you want to donate to the Queen, to the channel, Cash App, $Big Angie 129. It is the description in all my videos if you need more information. Thank you so much. Thank you all that reach out to me, bringing me the said commentary and updates for the stories that I cover. I will not be covering any more of the children cases unless it is a case I've already discussed on the channel. Thank my mods. Thank you all. You all have a wonderful evening. I may jump back on. If not, I'll see you the next time with more information pertaining to daily news, events, entertainment, true crime, breaking news. Thank you. God bless you. Stay safe.